Hello, everyone. So, unfortunately, the audio for the next two episodes will be lower in quality. Something went wrong with recording, and it sounds worse in comparison to our usual audio. I managed to do some post-processing to make it listenable. However, I totally understand if you aren't interested in listening to these next two. Give it a try, but I will be doing a recap once these are both out if you can't listen to it at the current quality levels. We also didn't do character introductions in the show, so I will do them here. Hi, I'm Brandon Korth, and I'm playing Yang Nay Evenway, Apeling Boy. And then next up, we have Jennifer Collins. Hi, I'm Jenny Collins, and I'm playing Shava Demaxic. Next up, we have Mike Lema. Hi, I'm Mike Lema. I'm playing Whispers at Sunset. And we have Weston Lema. I'm Weston Lema, and I'm so bad at Weston's voice. And I'm playing Darius Smoke Brewer. I think that's close. I tried. So really sorry about the audio quality issue, but we've still got our episodes, so here it is. Welcome to Dive Cloud.
Welcome to episode 6.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so let's get into the first opening cutscene. A hand reaches out and pets the head of a large bird. Its feathers are sharp and shine a brilliant red metallic color. It coos and nuzzles into the man's hand. Well, there's still a lot left to do, but until then, no one enters the tower.
Well, nice simple one.
Fade. I'm going to do a recap, I think. Actually, yeah. So you just listened to it. I haven't listened to it for a while. Can you go over just roughly what happened in it?
Yeah, definitely. So we started on our trip from Wellrose to Gravestone. Encountered the owlbear that we knew was going to be there. Quickly found out that it was defending something. We cleared that out, gave it its eggs back. It marched off. Yang saw some green people that no one else saw in the forest. We made our way through the creepy crevices into Gravestone. Yang saw the green people again following us. No one else did. Yang opened the letter.
Not real.
On accident.
Completely on accident.
Very on purpose, fully accident. Met Gash, saw the city. Gash told us about how they were awakened from when the tower fell and that they have been living there. We actually don't know how they got there. And then he asked us if he would help us find Frederick, who's starting to lose his mind and has wandered into the cave that we are now in and found this glowing pool of blue water where Frederick is sitting and a butterfly skeleton.
Okay.
Flown into the air. I don't know.
Yeah, I will re-describe it for you.
Or was it its own butterfly skeleton?
I will re-describe it so that we all have a good mental image.
Oh, and the green cave people are still following us.
Yes, because Yang saw them in the cave.
None of you know that.
Tunnel.
Only Yang sees that.
He saw them over there and crawled all the way around.
Yang sees
no
all.
regard for the danger.
Not true at all.
Which
Yang is insane.
Yeah. So you are in a pretty small cavernous space. It is about 50 feet across. It has a gentle slope of stone, kind of smooth, that goes into this greenish blue pool that is reflecting light all across the walls. And there are small mushrooms and little sparkles of magical, almost they look electrical, coming off of the water. There is a skeleton that was just sitting cross-legged there, with glowing blue eyes kind of leaking out of its teeth. This light is kind of emerging from there, and then it slowly begins to stand, and Yang is the one who's in front of it and is addressed as it rises from the water and its wings, these magical glowing blue butterfly-type wings, flutter out and fill this space around the pool.
Yeah.
Uh-oh!
Welcome to my pool.
It's nice and glowy.
This entity looks around at all of you, slowly turning, and it floats there silently. Its wings.
I would hop over to Yang. Are you Frederick?
I am Frederick, or I was Frederick.
That is an interesting way to state your presence of being. Please clarify.
Only part of me is Frederick now. A small part.
Well, your friends back in town really are worried about you. Maybe you should be Frederick again and go back? Can you do that?
I'm afraid that my transitionary process isn't complete. Afterwards, certainly.
Or what are you transitioning into? And from?
This is my pool. And as she continues, she's kind of diverting. And this is a very feminine voice,
Okay.
which is definitely, from what you gathered, Frederick was more masculine, and you wouldn't expect that. You hear Nyx speak up next to you, Shava. We need to run. We need to go now.
Why?
She's a fairy, like me.
Okay.
Hey, Frederick, have you seen any of these green people around? They're really annoying and no one else sees them. But I'm sure you've seen them, right?
Are you asking this to her?
Yeah, as I'm like hanging on like at the tunnel I would just like crawled out of.
They seem to be looking for you, not me.
Guys, look, she sees them, she knows.
Yeah, we're gonna trust the blue butterfly for confirmation that you're seeing things. Alright.
Well, thank you.
I'm gonna use my awakened mind feature on whispers, and I'm going to say, maybe we should go. I get the feeling that this is a dangerous creature. A fairy?
Interesting. Is Frederick a willing piece of your existence?
I don't know.
Well, that seems a little rude, doesn't it?
I find that unacceptable.
So you're saying the piece of Frederick left with you is basically the body you've taken over. Is that right?
Not entirely. I still feel his presence. And she drifts down, the tips of the skeletal feet touching the water, and it glows and it kind of ripples out across the edge. What brings you all to me?
We're here to get Frederick, of course.
I'm afraid that's not going to happen.
What happens if I touch this water that you seem so fond of?
Please don't.
Be my guest.
Please don't.
She is right, it's really glowy.
Nyx would get very close to you and be like, don't touch the water.
I'm fine. Won't touch the water.
So Nyx is just basically whispering, like, please, please leave it. This is a fairy pool. We can't afford to be any closer. We can't afford to stay any longer.
Seriously, though, what happens if we touch the water?
It depends, but it's really never good.
Okay.
So, Frederick, lady, can we just have that body and we'll just leave you alone here? You seem to be happy in this cave.
I'm afraid that that's not going to happen.
Well,
Okay, well, we'll just be leaving then. No worries.
I'm afraid that is also not an option.
You are forcing us to stay.
I'm giving you a choice to either die or worship me.
Oh, your bumps up the window, lady.
Whispers at that point would take flight and charge her.
Okay, that's initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Is what that is.
Going into her. There's always a dark advance of like, who's going to be the one to just do something?
today.
And yeah, Whispers, there is not a lot of flying space.
Okay.
The ceiling probably only goes to about 25 feet, but it's enough to fly around it.
I just don't want to touch the water.
Yeah. Good luck.
No.
Oh,
Oh no.
I didn't like the sound of that at all.
Whispers.
So, initiatives.
9.
9 for Whispers.
11 for Yang.
11 for Yang.
19.
19 for Darius. That's good.
Well,
About the only good roll I'll probably have today.
well, it's a natural 20 though.
It is a nat 20, but
For Shava.
Shava got a 16.
Ooh. Darius, you see Whispers take off and fly directly towards her, staff ready to strike. What are you doing?
I'm gonna take a shot at her with Rosie.
All right.
15?
That'll hit.
Sweet.
Hey.
That's, 10 damage.
Oh.
For
Guys, I'm
10
doing
damage.
things
Ooh.
right off the bat.
Actually hit with your gun.
I know.
Ooh.
Darius is like, oh! Darius is really
Wait, have you ever hit anything with your gun
No,
before?
it's I've ever hit something with it, and he's like really excited.
It only took you like 2 weeks of travel.
Woo!
Your bullet smashes into the ribs, a few kind of splintering and flying off to the side.
Nice.
And you watch as some of that magic blue energy seeps down into the pool below.
Magic blood.
Magic blood. It is her turn, and you watch as she raises her hands up, magical energy leaping from her palms, and she vanishes.
That's not
And
good.
you hear a gentle and then just like some kind of whooshing, but none of you know where she is anymore. And yeah, that's
Great.
what she does. Shava.
Well, seeing this person disappear, I'm going to just be like, Nick's a little help on this one. And I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Okay.
I don't know where she is.
Shava's body is highlighted by this glowing frosty energy that moves across her armor.
I'm going to hold Nyx's action until we can see her again.
Okay, what are you gonna have Nyx do once she appears?
An attack.
Okay.
She's also, as well, she's going to fly up to like the top of the ceiling.
Okay. She flies all the way up to the top of the ceiling and is ready for attack as soon as the fairy reappears. Next up is Yang.
Okay, guys, I think I've got a good idea here. And he's going to like hop down to where the other 2 groundwalkers are and cast fog cloud around us. And
Okay.
he's like, I know we can't see, but hopefully she'll kind of like displace the fog and we can see her a little better. And that's fine.
All right. So
Hoping everyone like prepares actions.
Yang kind of shoots out this blast of fog that fills up the room, making it pretty much impossible to see anything too
it's
far
only
away.
20-foot radius.
Okay, it covers about half the room.
Oh, actually, yeah. Is it? Let me check.
Oh, radius? Then it
Let me
fills the
check if
whole
it's
room.
radius or diameter.
It
It is
where
radius.
it
Wow.
starts.
So yeah, it pretty much fills the entire room.
Yeah.
Next up is Whispers. You are flying at her and she just disappears.
I am going to move away from the water then, and probably closer back towards the group. That's really all I can do if I can't see her.
Are you holding an action?
Yeah, I'll pull out my longbow and wait for it to reappear.
You knock an arrow, waiting for her to show herself. And Darius.
Would I recognize, like, can I do like a perception check to see like how she disappeared, or did it look familiar, like it was any kind of spell, or?
Sure, yeah. This would be an Arcana check.
Never mind, that was a 2.
It doesn't look unfamiliar in the sense of like vanishing magic that you've heard about, but you haven't seen a lot of it.
Right. In that case, I'll cast Searing Smite on my mace and
Nice.
just kind of wait.
All right. It is her turn again, and Whispers, you're not over the water anymore, right? Okay. Make a charisma saving throw for me.
Just whispers is awesome. awesome at charisma. Oh, it's a 19.
Okay, yeah. You, like, through sheer force of will, push it back.
All right.
Or force of charisma.
It is here next to me, and I will shoot an arrow at it. Because I
Yeah,
can see it, now, right?
it is actually within melee range. It's right next to you, so you would have disadvantage.
I would, because I'm ready.
Does this trigger Nyx's prepared action?
So I don't know if Nyx would be able to see her through the fog. I'll have Nyx
Okay.
make a perception check.
I dropped a nat 20, unfortunately. A 12?
12 does not hit. No, sorry.
No.
12 is too low. You are so startled by her sudden appearance that you, as you turn loose the arrow early,
That's a 15.
15, she points out and says, "There, are you sure I should reveal myself?"
Do you think this enemy is scary enough to?
And she instantly reveals herself. And this is it. Can you describe her attack? What kind of attack does she make?
She is going to be making a short bow attack. So she's going to pull out the short bow that is even short for little.
It's a toothpick.
Yep, it's basically a toothpick. And she's going to take aim and see, that's a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, and she does 1d1 damage.
Nice.
But the target must succeed on a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, fails.
All right, they are poisoned for the next minute.
Okay,
Nice.
very nice. What are the mechanics of poison?
Flat poison is disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls,
Okay,
but I think fairy poison is special.
I believe if this were normal undead, that poison wouldn't work. But on this one, yeah, poison does work because of the nature of two fairies kind of clashing. I think it makes sense. So her head instantly turns to where Nyx is, and her eyes glow blue and shine directly towards where Nyx is. And I need Nyx to make a dexterity saving throw.
That is going to be a unnatural 20.
That's good enough. Nyx dodges out of the way, kind of spiraling around this blue energy. I can see you, little fairy, by my pool.
There's a second one. No, there's two.
Oh god.
Don't attack it! Don't attack it!
There's two fairies. They're not good.
And now we're on Java's actual turn.
Hey, okay, so now that I can actually see this hacker, I'm going to cast Hex, disadvantage Constitution.
Okay.
Then, after I cast Hex, I'm going to also unleash an Eldritch Blast. Okay, that's a 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that's going to be 12. Do I have my spell attack bonus to that?
Not the damage.
Not for...
Not for damage,
Is
okay.
it for Eldritch Blast? I think it is.
Warlocks, if they take I believe what do they call it? Incantation?
Oh, I have Agonizing Blast, so yeah,
Then
that
yes.
adds
Okay.
to it.
Then you do.
So that'll be 13 of the force damage, and then 2 of it is the necrotic.
You watch as this ring of hex forms around her, and she turns to look at you as this blast of blue, white, purple, right, is your colors?
Yes.
Energy shoots out, and a hole is ripped in one of the wings, and it starts to slowly reform, but it flaps a little lower. That brings us to Yang's turn.
Yang is going to cast Bark Skin on himself
Okay.
and armor up and climb up the wall onto the roof
Okay.
or to the ceiling. And Bark Skin is concentration, so the fog will start to dissipate. 'cause that's
Okay.
concentration.
All right.
It's still there. And then going to plan to jump on the thing or fall onto it with an attack when he can see it clearly enough.
Okay. Yeah. Your fog would fade almost instantly. Like,
Yeah.
just gone. And you're going to make an attack from the ceiling.
Because Bark Skin is an action, so on my next, he's preparing to like leap down and like hit her with. Oh, he'll cast Shillelagh on his quarterstaff.
Very nice. You use a bow staff.
Quarterstaff.
Quarterstaff. You take your quarterstaff and it glows with this green shillelagh energy.
Oh yeah, and when he's hanging, he's holding the staff in his feet. getting ready to
Okay.
toss it up to himself.
And when the fog dissipates, all of you would see a small fairy with kind of metallic skin. Can you describe Nyx for us? I think this is the first real public appearance of Nyx.
Yeah, so you see a small little, probably like a really, really pale, really metallic looking, almost robotic, like the kind of metallic that you see from the elk.
Mm-hmm.
With, I'm assuming she also has like metallic-y wings as well. We didn't talk about that.
That's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know if it mattered for the flavor or not. So she has wings that are almost made of light with two metal pieces that are the supports or like the bones where they would normally be for the wings. And you see her holding a very small silver short bow with a very, very similarly matching outfit to Shava, like a fluffy little dress
like a
and
doll
like
version, or
yeah, and like she has pigtails. You get the feeling that I kind of use Nyx for dress up.
how is she like as tall as like a coffee mug or like a?
She's
Like
size
that?
small,
Okay,
so I believe that's like
1 foot
Yeah.
high, maybe.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool.
2 max.
Yeah, 2 would be big.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
that's revealed, and that's the end of Yang's turn. Whispers.
Whispers would yell, "Release the skeleton or face the consequences," and attack the wings
Okay,
with his polearm.
go for it.
18 to hit,
18 does hit.
9 damage, and I will use my Radiant Smite on that first attack on her as well. So
Okay.
that's part of that damage.
So how
my
much?
polearm gets blasted with an extra 2 radiant energy.
She reels back and takes the huge wings and smashes them together, trying to fly back over the water. So,
Is she leaving my space?
no, that's just what she's preparing
Okay.
to do, basically.
She's like getting the wings.
Yeah,
up,
she's starting to
push
get them
herself
ready.
upwards.
So, Darius,
Oh boy. So she's still in the air.
yes,
How close is she to us?
to you
Like,
probably
the group.
to the group. She's probably about 15 feet away,
Can I
up in
reach
the
her
air.
In the air? No. 15
No,
15 up high.
she's like up there battling with whispers,
Okay.
kind of.
How big is the room we're in?
50 feet across.
50 feet. Okay, then that's a bad idea.
You were gonna throw.
You're gonna collapse the cave.
We already saw
break the
how
cave.
the entrance humble.
It's an extra 2 damage. I didn't add my radiant
Oh,
damage
sure.
to that.
That's fine.
I'm gonna shoot guiding bolts at her. That's not one, baby.
There it is.
Do you have a preferred method of failure?
Not particularly.
Okay, just wanted to check.
I'll put some thought into that
Okay,
next time.
yeah.
Because it'll definitely happen.
Your guiding bolt shoots out towards her, and she spins and looks directly at you, her eyes glowing blue, seeming to abandon the previous kind of flying back thing that she was about to do.
Hi.
And
Oh no.
it's her turn.
Oh shit.
You watch as the wings fold in, and she starts dropping towards you, and then unfurl, and a gust of wind knocks everyone back. So everyone make no. Oh yeah,
I'm hanging up above.
you're up above. You're outside the range.
Yeah, Nick's appeared next to me.
So-
There's whispers outside of that because I was in the air.
You were. I would say that you're enough outside. Yeah,
And then does she leave my range?
she is. So you can take an attack of opportunity. All right, Whispers is making an attack.
19 to hit.
Okay,
It's going to be still 14 damage.
14 damage. You slash across its back, seeing the bones kind of separate, and inside the bones you see like glowing blue energy as you cut through them.
Okay.
So she takes 18 damage.
The fairy is inside of the skeleton.
And it's still her turn, so she knocked back everyone. And then what were the saves on that? From
I got a 14.
14?
4.
4. So Shava is knocked back. You're going to take 3 bludgeoning damage from smashing the ground and are knocked prone. Darius, you stay there and you watch as a long blade that forms around her hand of magical energy that she seems to grip onto and slashes across your face with like a sharp, almost karate chop. And ooh, that's gonna hit probably.
What is it?
It's a 24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I would like to say Yang is no longer laughing because he was laughing at the way the wind was blowing Darius's hair and beard back, like, oh, and then he got slashed, like, oh no. Oh.
I will say, by the way, when Shava was knocked over, she let out quite a yelp. It's like,
And then
So you take 7 slashing damage.
It's not as bad, actually.
No, it was a bad roll.
Okay. Not the best you got, you ninny.
And then she's gonna look at you with her eyes glow, and I need you to make a dexterity save.
Oh no.
oh,
No. Wait, Dexter?
Yeah, dexterity.
Okay, that's a 4.
Oh, good.
Still an oh no. I thought it was charisma because I thought she was trying to take me over.
Oh.
I thought that's what that was.
No, it's dexterity. Yeah, so you take
All right, cool.
so 8 force damage, and you feel that you've become more receptive to whatever kind of charming ability she has
No.
by being hit by this energy.
Was it just like a blast that like came out from it?
It was a directed, like, imagine laser beams from the eyes of just blue swirling energy, like.
she shot you with the please listen to me juice.
Boy.
That is her turn. Shava, you are laying on the ground, still a bit dazed from being knocked back.
Well, I think it's a good idea to stand up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stand back up and I'm just gonna like mutter under my breath like, you know, that's kind of rude. You shouldn't like shove people. And then I'm gonna cast another Eldritch Blast, still like muttering under my breath like, dang skeletons and they're silly. And that's a unnatural 20 to hit.
Nice, that'll hit.
Damn. That's pretty good. That's going to be 17 damage. She's also going to have Nyx. Get him! And then she's going to have Nyx once again use her short bow and give her the good old bop.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
The good old Bob.
That's a 12.
12 for bopping
Yep.
is not hopping. Yeah,
Well,
that misses.
Gosh,
Ain't not popping it.
Oh, that's a good one.
Worse.
the boppin' ain't hoppin'.
All right, so you see Nyx's body is physically shaking as she tries to take the shot, and it looks like she almost purposefully misses and shoots off to the side.
Okay.
We need to go now, please.
You know, I would if I could. I think she's going to follow us if we try to leave.
Yang, you are hanging above her. She's probably, you are hanging above her on the wall with your staff in your feet.
I'm in the ceiling.
Okay,
I'm in the ceiling,
you are
holding
completely on the ceiling. Gotcha.
I quickly want to just look if there seems to be a connection between the water and it. If there's any kind of
like a tendril
just
of
something,
water.
Yeah.
It does seem like the glow of the pool is stronger where the direction that she is.
Okay. Cool. He's formulating an idea. He doesn't have it yet, but so he's going to follow through with his plan and stick with me. He's got the quarterstaff in his feet. he's going to gently toss the quarterstaff up to above where she is.
Yeah.
Pull his feet up to the ceiling and do a little flip, and then push from his feet from the ceiling, and then grab
Okay.
his staff in the air and dive bomb.
Yeah, I'll make an acrobatics check with advantage.
mind.
I'll give you advantage. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's cool.
Well, the first one is a 23, so
Okay.
we'll take that one.
Yeah. You very nimbly do this little flip and then kick down, and it gives you some extra momentum as you head directly towards her.
Yeah.
You can roll an extra d6 of damage
All right.
because you did a cool push off.
Monkey missile.
If I hit though, with
If you hit.
a 12, I imagine.
No, it does not hit.
So he also planned for this. So he's just planning. He just also wanted. To,
I planned for failure.
So how does Darius actually look right now? Is he okay?
He's bloodied.
Okay. But yeah, he's still trying to dive bomb to her, but also trying to get to the ground.
Sure. And I'll say you have enough movement that missing isn't a problem, although you do hit the ground kind of hard.
Okay.
Yeah. So you would land on the ground, probably using your bow staff to kind of like bend and like catch some of your...
Yeah. I imagine she just dodged out of the way.
Oh, yeah. She just moved out of the side without even looking at you.
Yang still does the thing where he like lands with his staff and then hopes that everyone thought that looks cool.
3-point landing. Next up is Whispers.
All right. Whispers is going to cock his head off to the side, and you'll see him swing his talons forward, and then he is going to shoot downward as an owl would, and grab at that energy in the middle and attempt to rip it out of the skeleton.
Oh, so the energy is definitely not in the middle of the skeleton.
Oh,
It
I
seems-
thought it was like a focal point.
No, the focal point would be the head, actually. Because all the energy seems to be stemming from there.
Really don't want to pull Frederick's head off. But I'm gonna.
Oh no!
I mean, he's a skeleton. You can just like put some mud or something and just like.
So I would like to grapple the head of this and try and yank it off.
Okay, yeah, totally. So this would be a grapple check. And then you're probably going to, once you're grappled, have to make a strength check to try and do that.
It's I got a 16. It's going to be an 18.
So the grapple succeeds, and then you're making a strength check, and she's going to... She fails. So you watch as Whispers flies down right after Yang, and his talons grip into the eye sockets of this skull, and then he flaps as forcefully as he can, and with a... this skull just pops off.
And then I would like to use the rest of my movement to fly as far away from the pool as I can.
Okay, so you fly over probably towards the group, and
10 feet down, and then
yeah,
another. And I can fly 50 feet, so I can
yeah. Okay, you are flying fast away, but this body is still moving, and its wings are still beating. And the skull in your feet says, "Let me go! Don't touch me."
Could I fly out of the room?
Yeah, I figured that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
You fly into the tunnel that you came in.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'll use the rest of my movement to do that.
All right, Darius, it's your turn. This body is still right against you. Its hands coated in these magical blades.
Can I use my reaction to like shout something?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. I'm gonna shout to Darius and say, Darius, I think we need to try to get this water out of this room. Like, maybe there's a hole in one of the caves we can route the water out to?
Okay. With that, I guess I'll perception check to see if there's like a way I can get it out. I mean,
Not without
I don't know
like
what to do with
the
that.
control water spell,
yeah,
maybe.
I don't have any of those.
There's a lot of water here.
Yang says, I've got a plan.
You've got a plan, huh? With that, I'm going to try and guiding bolt the second time. This will be my second roll slot. 16.
16 to hit? Yeah.
Yahoo! Alright. 13 damage.
Okay.
Or actually, hold on, I gotta do 26. Alright, that's actually 15 damage.
15
And then
damage.
I have advantage on the next turn, and then with my bonus action, I'll do Healing Word on myself for 6 points of healing.
Okay. Nice. So Darius takes the... Is it one shot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're using it as a spellcasting focus,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So you lift it up and you take a shot, and the wing just gets a nice large hole blasted through it.
Nice.
kind of the magical energy leaking down across the floor, stopping. When the magic hits the floor, it slowly stops glowing, and it kind of makes its way back to the pool, like along the ground.
Does that ground her at all? Or is she still in the air?
So, yeah, it seems to be having trouble staying up, but it does not seem to be stopping. So you can tell you're making progress towards grounding.
Okay. Whatever you're gonna do, Yang, you should do it quickly. Okay.
It's her turn. So the skull kind of tilts towards you, whispers, and looks up, and a glow of blue energy shoots out. Okay. So you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's gonna be 23.
23, you'll succeed. The blast of energy shoots into the wall, missing you as you kind of redirect yourself. And then you also feel a surge of something trying to attack your mind.
Okay.
So that's a charisma saving throw.
13?
13 is not good enough.
Oh no! Oh no!
You are instantly compelled to return that skull to where it belongs. No. It is Shava's turn.
All right. How much can Nyx lift?
Not much.
Okay.
She's not very strong.
So let's say she can't lift a skull.
She could lift a skull. She could probably lift like 10 pounds.
Okay.
She's a strong little fairy, but she's not like super strong.
All right.
She's not swollen enough.
She's not swole.
I'm gonna be like, Nyx, you want to grab that skull?
Do you know that Whispers has been affected by this?
I mean,
he's out of sight right now.
He hasn't appeared yet.
That's true. I am down the hall.
Okay. I'll ask Nyx to follow then instead.
Okay, so Nyx is following to kind of make sure that the skull doesn't come back.
Well, just like to
take
monitor
the
the
skull so that
situation
Whispers
and
can
maybe
help us
start
here.
running.
Sure.
Yeah. And then instead, because I don't know what's happening, how close is the body to the ground?
It is now floating kind of just off the ground.
All right. I am going to pull out my quarterstaff and I'm going to run up and I'm going to attempt to smack it with my quarterstaff.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, that is pretty good. That's a 21.
21 will hit.
What is... I haven't used the quarterstaff
I'm good at hitting things.
once. I am good at hitting things. That's going to be 5 damage.
5 damage.
Yep.
You come in with your quarterstaff, the gem floating in the middle as you whack.
Yeah. I do want to go for like a top-down approach to see if I can pin it to the floor or get it to stop flying.
Okay. Make a strength check.
Ooh. That's a 6.
That I didn't roll very well, but it's not good enough. You try to pin it, but it just uses its large wings to kind of force out of that.
Did my quarterstaff like bounce off, or is it like lodged behind the neck and I'm floating with it now?
Sure. Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, it's lodged in there now, and you are floating up off the ground as it starts to beat its wings.
I'm just bad idea.
Yang's gonna go, great job distracting!
Dang, I could use some assistance.
Yang's turn. You are on the ground now, as it's trying to fly upwards.
Yeah. Yang's just gonna go, okay, Java, keep it there! And then he's going to, he's just going to, like, look for a hole that looks like it continues out near the ground area.
They all seemed to go upwards.
Oh, really?
None of them seemed to just go straight out.
Okay. Well, there goes my plan. So Yang is going to realize that his plan wasn't going to work. He wanted to just he was going to turn to a bore and reroute the water into a hole so it would all like drain away. But
you'd have to like dig through the ground.
Well, he's going to turn into a bore and just go.
It's all stone.
Dig up all the stone. Well, then that plan definitely.
Okay.
Childlike wonder in your eyes. It's like, who's gonna do it? I know.
Okay. Instead, he's going to reach his staff up into the air and form like a purple energy around it and call a moonbeam down through its like wings to just try to destroy its wings.
Nice.
And actually, it's a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That is a 10.
It does not succeed.
Ooh.
So now it takes 2d10 radiant damage. Yeah, sweet.
Does anyone have like a bag of holding?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Bags of holding are not common.
Not yet.
Okay.
That is like kind of high level.
All right.
All right, 6. Oh wait, is that 6 or 9? That is a 9. So 10 radiant damage through its wings.
And with that, you watch as its wings whoosh, just disappear into this sparkling dust, and it falls to the ground on one knee, and then slowly starts to re-up. And you see these, where the wings were, still glowing with energy, trying to kind of reform.
Nice. And one tiny extra bit of flavor is that when Yang realized that the caves were going up, he like called the energy through one of the caves above on the top. It's like it's shot out of there.
Are you just trying to hit one of the green people? You're trying to...
That'd be a cool side effect. But no.
Yeah, so you call this in, and it's like goes down like a bunch of holes, and then shoots through the room, kind of this like lasers of moonbeam shooting through everything.
I hate to say this, but do I take falling damage for that?
Did you fall?
I was attached to its neck.
You were, yeah.
Well, it didn't have a turn of movement.
No, it had not actually moved. It was just starting to.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're good. But that would have been funny. Okay, so that's Yang's turn. Whispers. You are flying back. You are compelled.
Yep, I'm compelled to fly back. Is Nyx going to try and take the skull from me as I go zipping past her?
I think that totally depends.
Not create an opportunity.
Yeah, I think
faster.
Make a, insight check for Nyx to notice that something is strange about Whispers.
That's a 17.
17? I think that's good enough to realize, Shava, something's wrong with Whispers.
Is he... Well, what happened?
And then, as Whispers is flying by, Nyx would probably try to take the skull. So...
Like a contested strength check against Whispers?
Yeah.
Then?
It'd be athletics.
So...
She's probably terrible at.
Whispers make...
20.
My roll is also very terrible.
Oh, is it?
So,
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's a 13.
I got a 4.
Nice!
Yay!
Whispers lost.
She has a -4 to strength.
I have a -1. So
That's really bad. Whispers, as you're flying, the skull gets knocked down, and Nyx basically just like bonks it out of Whispers' grasp, and it clatters to the floor. And Nyx is going for it, and Whispers, you also feel the need to go for it.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see. I think you still have an action.
I do still have an action.
So
spin back around and pick up the skull, I guess.
Yeah.
If she's not holding it, I'll just grab it.
I don't think like she would have been powerful enough to rip it out of your grasp, which is why I said that she would knock it out.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be able to.
Unexpected.
I don't want to make Nyx's thing mean nothing. So
Okay.
yeah, I would say you begin to pick it up.
Okay.
Could I, as well? I don't know if it'd be like an action or not for her to cast invisibility again.
That would be an action.
Okay. All right, sounds good. She is going to start heading over towards this way as well.
Okay, so you're both flying at it.
Yeah, we're racing for the skull now. Then.
That's exciting.
Nice. Let's see. That was Shava's turn. No, that was Whisper's
That was
turn.
my turn. Yep.
And Darius.
Okay. As far as we know, is the fairy in the skull, the body, or the water?
It is hard to tell. I don't. You could, if you wanted, you could take an action and make an Arcana check to try to figure it out, or I would say I'll allow you to make it with disadvantage if you want to burn a bonus action.
I'll burn a bonus action
Okay.
to do it. Okay, how's it doing that? And that one, okay, 13.
13. It does seem to be focused. The energy seems to be focused in the skull, but there also does seem to be energy in the water. So it might be either of two places.
Okay. Then Darius is going to go against his previous judgment. He's going to throw a bomb in that pool.
Okay.
With this charm effect that I have,
Yes.
I wonder, do I get a save at the end of my turn?
Yes, you would.
Oh, yeah, please. It's a 16.
16 is enough to save. So you feel the effects wearing off.
Good.
Is that the beginning or end of your turn?
This at the end.
End of the turn.
Nice. Okay.
Does that mean during the regular part of your turn that you would still try to go for it? Or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's the very end. It's the last thing you do.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm gonna shout, "Everyone, back up!" And then I'm gonna back up enough and try and get as far away from it as I can.
All right.
Yang's gonna, when the
Okay.
staff leaders just start scooting to the side, still summoning.
Crab walk.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Do you want me to roll for this, or I'm just throwing it at the ground? So I
There's nothing about this that would require
Okay.
a skill check, but I don't know if the diamond, you said it requires hard impact to explode, which the water wouldn't provide.
Try. I can try this. I'll throw it and then I'll try and shoot it.
Oh, yeah. That's
Okay.
what we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want me to do a dex for the? Do you want me to do for both the throw and then the shot, or just?
I
the
think
shot?
you're fine with throwing. I
Okay.
think it's just the shot.
All right. It's a 5.
Okay. So that's a failure. You
The shooting streak has ended.
you shoot it. You hit it, but you hit it
Close.
too early, and a bunch of water splashes off the surface towards all of you. I need you all to make dexterity saving throws who are in the range of it.
Oh, great. Okay, that's not bad. 14.
14, you jump out of the way of the water and it sizzles across the ground.
Okay. Sizzles.
5.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
5.
Shava uses your...
Next to the skeleton too, so I'm assuming I can just like
Yeah,
a bit.
you use your staff to like nimbly dodge out of the way, pushing off the ground. Super dexterous.
Yang was really trying to scoop behind his moonbeam, and he knocked it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What is he doing?
Oh no.
My heart.
My little monkey heart. Have I killed you a second?
So you take 17 force damage
Okay.
from the water as it splatters across you.
I'm still up.
It doesn't have any sort of visible effect on you other than just intense pain.
Oh my goodness.
And you feel you also are mentally less capable of fending off any sort of, I don't know, charisma-based mental attack that could happen.
Does that break my concentration, I'm guessing? Or does it not?
So you have to make a roll against it.
Okay.
So this is a constitution.
10 or half the damage. So at 17, it'd be 10.
Yeah.
It'd be 10 or better.
Oh, wait.
Constitution.
Okay. So I have to do a Constitution 10 or better. I did not.
Okay.
Yes.
So the moonbeam fizzles out.
Does it look like I at least did anything to the fairy?
It does
Does
not.
that take any effect?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yang very much just like, at least it looked cool.
Did the level of the pond fall at all?
It was really just a skim off the surface.
And it like flows into itself too.
It does, yeah. It spills back when it kind of goes outside.
Well,
And then it's her turn. She's going to look back at Whispers. The skull kind of turns on the ground.
oh my gosh.
And oh, let's see. This would be it's making first the dex save for the glowing blue laser eyes.
It's only a 9.
So 9. That will hit. You take 12 force damage,
Yes.
and you feel another assault on your mind.
Oh, shoot, I already rolled it. It's a 12. So,
Alright.
yeah, then I am dominated again then.
You are now
Oh my
right in prime area to pick up that skull, and you are very happy about it.
Alright, I will
And
grab
then,
the skull then.
yeah, it's not your turn yet.
Oh, I thought you said it was her turn.
It was her turn. That's what she did.
Yep.
The body is going to actually try to fly towards the skull now.
The
So-
body didn't have its wings in.
Yeah, didn't he just
Oh.
wings?
Yeah.
Yes. So it will try to fly and it'll kind of flutter and not do that, and then it'll run into the tunnel.
Any AoEs?
Anyone who makes an attack of opportunity
I was
is more
right
than welcome.
next to
I
it.
think
Yeah.
we both dodged out of the way, so
All right. Well, I'm going to take my quarterstaff
Okay.
and I'm going to attempt to use it and kind of run it just along, like below the ribs.
Trying to break it in half.
Yeah,
nice.
All right, make an attack.
22.
22 is a hit.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll damage.
8.
8. Okay.
8 of that good old bludgeoning.
It falters, and you see some more of that magical blue from within the bones that crack, but it does continue forward. It is kind of hobbling, though.
Dang. Is it missing any vertebrae? Did any vertebrae fall?
Sure.
Pop it out and then just
It got a little shorter.
like a really cool Jenga piece where you pull it out and it
Just
lands
drops.
right on it.
And Yang.
See what Shava did. It's gonna be like, yeah, I could do that too, and then bring his.
It's gonna try
So-
to knock out all of its vertebrae.
It would move 60 feet. I think it would actually re-engage with Whispers now.
When would Nyx have gone already?
Nyx would go on your turn. We were just on
Yeah.
Shava's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We haven't even done Yang, so we're fine.
Okay. She's gonna attempt to go for that scully skull.
Okay, so she's going to try to pick it up.
Yeah, and she's going to also just cast him. She's gonna like not necessarily pick it up this turn, because that I believe will be her action. She's just gonna kind of hug it
Uh-huh.
and cast invisibility.
Like, oh, so she just wants to hold on to it and then be invisible.
Yeah, but if she does that, it turns the skull
can turn
invisible as well.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Nice.
She's so tough. Yep.
All right.
Oh.
Oh, this is weird because okay, so it's not an item; it's an entity.
Yeah. But
So,
I'm technically carrying it.
but it's not an item, right?
Would the
get
skull
that
disappear, but the glow is still there or something?
Okay. No, I think that one.
That is weird.
I think that one would make sense. So the skull disappears as Nyx is holding onto it, and you see Whispers. You see a small blue glowing fairy that looks similar. Is smaller in size, but is inside of where the skull was as it fades out. Yang, it is your turn.
Okay. So the skeleton on its own moved 60 feet, like without flying.
Yeah, it was running. So
Yeah, dashed.
Okay, I'm going to just dash after it and just try to like get its attention, I suppose. I know it's not going to work, but that's what he's doing. He's just yelling at it like, look at me! Don't worry about that!
make. Let's see. This would be. I mean, you're. Oh, are you dashing?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you wouldn't be able to
I
use your
just
action
wanna
to do
get
this.
into that zone.
I've gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you rush up there. You see a floating blue little fairy kind of on the ground where, I don't know, nothing else used to be there. And then you see Whispers reaching down for it with his talons.
So yeah, as he's running, he's just going to yell, stop, stop!
And Whispers, it is your turn. You are still affected.
I am still affected. So what does the fairy want me to do?
The
I
fairy
can't see the skull.
the fairy wants you to grab where she is.
Okay.
Because
So I will try and pick up the area where she is.
okay.
You'd probably grab for the fairy and then like
Yeah.
hit the skull.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what would happen. Now, Nyx is there. I'm going to let her use a reaction to try to, like, move it out of his grasp. So
Okay.
this would be, I think, athletics. It's like an opposed grapple.
Sure.
It's probably a X for Nyx, right?
I don't
Oh no.
That is a negative number.
Ooh.
Oh, that is a very, very positive. That 20, but I have a -1 in my athletics, so it's a 19
Okay.
total.
You reach down, and, I mean, it's not like you forgot where the skull was there, and you grab it, and now you're holding this invisible skull. And I'll say Nyx is just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah.
And you start flying. So can you get back to the body? I think you can by this point.
I would think so at this point too. It's just really wonky because the creature took actions and then the body dashed. So where we're all at together is
It is very convoluted. I think you could get back to it this
if
turn.
I'm flying, I have 50 fly speed, so I'm sure I could get back to the body.
Yeah. And yes. So you get back to the body and you're going to put the head back on, even though it's invisible, and you're just putting this fairy like on this neck stump.
Okay. There you go.
Darius.
Back where you belong, little fairy.
Darius, it is your turn. You can see all this happening from within that room that you're in.
Well, it's back on its body.
And Whispers, make a charisma save to try and break free.
9.
9, that is not good enough. You are still.
I am no longer raging though, too. So
Oh.
I can attack.
Okay, you lose your rage. Darius.
I'm gonna shoot it.
All right.
Shoot straight at the fairy. I'm gonna see the fairy. At least I know where it is.
You're gonna
now.
shoot at the
I'm gonna shoot at
the
her-
fairy
at the fairy
that you see.
Yeah. 13.
13 will not hit.
No.
Yeah, just barely.
All right. Well.
The bullet whizzes by as this fairy kind of ducks down.
What are you for hit points right now? Because you took a lot of damage.
I'm at 4.
I'm gonna cast Healing Word. Take 1d4 plus 6. You take 9. Yeah. Oh, my last spell slot.
Yang starts to run a little faster and he doesn't know why.
Whoa!
Okay, it is.
And then he'll shout at Whispers, Whispers, what are you doing?
I'm putting the fairy back where she wants to go.
You dummy, that's not right. What was that?
It is her turn, and I'll say with this being her turn, she reconnects. Her wings shoot out like filling the tunnel, and she flies backwards and knocks everyone down around her. So I don't know, is Yang right up
Yeah,
there
I
now?
was right up next to the body.
I don't think Shava followed behind.
No.
Neither did Darius.
Does her whole body go invisible with Nyx attached to her?
Whose body?
Does the whole entire fairy go
Okay.
invisible because Nyx is attached to her head?
Okay, so
Oh,
actually,
So the fairy is just hanging out there.
she would no longer be able to carry the entire skeleton. Therefore, the skull kind of pop, comes back.
Okay.
But Nyx is still invisible.
Okay, she's just like attached to
Yeah,
her.
she's just holding on.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
getting weird. Everyone who's around there make a dexterity saving throw, including Nyx.
Me?
Yes, you as well.
I
Okay,
have a 17 to save.
Yang, you brace yourself with your staff like in a hole in the wall and manage to stay up. What does Nyx do?
She rolled a 14.
14 is good enough. So she barely holds on to this skull as she's like pulled up by the wind and then just grips tighter.
Charm effects is when it does anything harmful to you.
Okay, yeah, that would be a perfect example.
So you're knocked out of it?
I rolled an 18, so.
Yes, you no longer feel that compulsion. So it is Shava's turn.
Alright, so first of all, Nyx is gonna get the heck out of Dodge. She's just gonna fly up to a different portion of the room. And then... Are they still on... They're still on the ground? Like 10 feet off the ground?
They are still actually standing on the ground. They just reformed their wings and they're starting to float up.
Okay.
But this is a much tighter tunnel and the wings pretty much block off everything.
And I'm pretty far away, so I probably actually don't see it, do I?
You would be seeing it, but it would be very distant at this point. It would be like 60 feet out from you, I'll say.
I'll move like 20 feet towards it, and then
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to cast an Eldritch Blast. That's a 17.
That'll hit.
9 damage.
9 damage. Okay. You watch the wings come back in and break apart again, just barely able to even keep their form up. And it is almost falling apart at this point. And then is Nyx, she just flew up.
Alright. she's going to take out her short bow again and attempt to do a little bat.
Okay, she bapping.
That's a natural one.
Well, those are usually misses.
Yeah.
She pulls back and releases the tiny arrow, and it
Is there anyone
clatters
else?
off to the side. No, she doesn't hit anyone.
Okay. Good.
Yang.
So Yang is going to. So is it close to the pool?
No, it is actually a bit farther away now.
So the group that's near it are all like in that partially into that hallway.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he's just going to attack them. Do real quick like poke at its wings.
Okay.
22.
22 will hit.
And that is 3 damage.
Okay. Still up.
3 little pokes.
Just barely.
So is the glow, is that starting to fade?
It is
are we-
flickering
And is
now.
it the same for the pool? The color from the pool?
The pool is remaining pretty constant, although it does seem to be...
But it was never glowing as bright as the fairy.
No, the fairy does glow brighter.
Cool.
Whispers, you have regained your...
Cool. I am going to look at it and say, "Release her, Frederick, and I will not devour you." Does she
Okay.
drop him?
Make an intimidation check.
Ooh.
And I will also put like the prongs of my polearm right up under its chin. And that's only an 11.
Okay.
It's not good.
I'll have her make an opposed check. From within the hole of the eye socket, a little blue fairy comes shooting out and instantly starts trying to fly away. But the body clatters to the ground.
Does it look alive?
Did it ever?
I mean, does Frederick look as though he is still
It
in
looks
life?
intact, but obviously very badly damaged from all the attacks that have been done. But it seems to land. It's impossible to tell whether whether it's still undead or completely dead.
Then I will hit her with non-lethal damage. Then
Okay,
knock her.
you're gonna have to
Well, he has
make
to
an
keep it
attack.
alive so he can eat it.
Yeah, that's a 15 to hit.
15 does not hit.
Does not hit.
It's a tiny. It's probably only like 5 inches tall. It's very hard to hit.
Okay.
She is flying, and she's going to require opportunity attacks from, I think, literally everyone.
Yeah. Everyone besides Nyx. Nyx is
I would like to use my ability to knock her prone if I hit her,
Sure.
which I will. That's a nat 20.
She flies past, and Whispers just knocks her down instantly.
Oh yes.
You take the talons and you wrap them around and like kind of just flicker to the floor. Her light fades, but not entirely.
Okay.
And I think that's a good place to take a break because I have to go back.
yeah. We did it.
Welcome back to the Dive Lounge, where we just kind of like chill out, we hang, there was a beanbag chair, I believe, and then you can grab a drink. It's a little smoky in here, so if that bothers you, you might want to go to the non-smoking area. Anyway, we have 2 reviews to read this week. The first is from James Simpleton. Super amusing D&D podcast. The story is interesting and the players are all very amusing. Yang is my favorite little ape boy, spelled B-O-I. Loving it with 3 exclamation points. So thank you, James. The second review is from Valma04. Dive Cloud has become my favorite part of every other Monday. Fairy emoji, coffee emoji. I can't wait for the next episode. Thank you to both you guys. I really appreciate the reviews, and also to both of you, we should hang out sometime. Our heroes have seemingly defeated the fairy and begin their journey to escape this strange cave. What will they find? Let's get back to the show.
So this fairy is laying on the ground. Whispers, your taloned staff is over the top of it as you pull it up. It is clearly unconscious, but not dead.
I am going to put this creature in a jar unless someone objects. And I go into my bag and I get out a glass jar.
You just have one?
I told you I brought a bunch of adventuring
Oh, that's
equipment
fair, 'cause
along
it's- yeah, 'cause you-
because it's my job to make sure you're all prepared.
Wait, what? Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
As long as it can't get out.
And Yang, as you're getting your jar out, Yang is going to go like pick it up by its like foot and like holding it up with his like fingers, just all delicate. Like, okay, I guess I'll drop it in.
Now that you're looking,
in small bulk.
okay, Yang. Now that you're looking at it closely, you see it looks a lot like the other one you had seen flying out the room, which I don't think any of you have really addressed yet either. But it is metallic and has a blue sheen. It is very similar in nature to the elk and has small insect-like wings with like larger eyes. It's smaller than Nyx, though, by quite a large margin. It's probably only 5 inches tall.
This thing is really weird and gross, like the other thing we saw.
Nyx is now floating back down to Shava.
Yeah, is Nyx still... Nyx will go invisible again.
Nyx was still invisible
Okay,
from...
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Would have probably, as soon as she saw the fairy go down, gone invisible.
Yeah.
What happened to the other one? That was
As soon
flying
as
around?
what was the fairy's name? This lady, the
Never,
blue lady.
never told you.
Never told us.
Once the blue fairy is contained, Whispers would be really kind of upset with Shava. Would you please explain to me why you have a companion with you that has been not made aware to the rest of us?
Just like how you brought me along on this trip.
She's gonna try to lie.
And we know how well that works.
I'm helping.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I saw it too, but it's not mine.
So then the next time it appears, I shall kill it.
Maybe don't do that.
No, it was clearly helping us.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with it up on the ceiling.
Who knows what it was?
Insight.
I'm going to say that's an opposed check on that one. So Shava make a deception check and Whispers make an insight check.
17.
18!
Oh!
I'm lying.
Did Shava just say I'm lying?
You can probably just see in her she like has normal posture, but you look at her eyes and they're like super like wide, like oh.
It's hard to actually pick up on because you're not as used to human kind of tendencies, but you do see in her eyes the look of prey. And you know she's lying. Or hiding something at least.
I do not know why you would hide something like this from us or place us in danger. But it is obviously important to you. I will leave it for now.
And I just turn around and start heading for the exit.
Okay.
Ye must have go check out the blue water and see if it's still glowing.
It is still glowing, but the glow has lessened.
Darius is going to follow him just in case he needs to pull him back out of the water.
and Yang started marching over and he hears Darius behind him. He's like, bottle! And just holds his hand out behind him, waiting for a bottle.
Darius will walk past him with his own vial and just like scoop up a little bit of water.
Yang has his eyes closed and it's just like, Darius? Oh, okay, you got it already.
If you think I'd trust you anywhere near this, oh, you're a wee fool. And then he's going to put it right next to the vial of the red water he has. Now I have blue and red water. Whoa.
Okay, so the blue water, once you put it in the bottle, kind of fades, but when you shake it, it lights back up.
Ooh.
Is the pond still glowing?
It is still glowing.
Wow, I want one of those. That was my idea. And then he's just going to go to like scoop some up with his hands.
Oh no.
Darius is going to slap you in the face and just like whack it onto your back. If you want me to roll damage,
Yang, if you fall into the pool accidentally and then die.
Actually, no. Darius is going to hold on. Is a 10 enough to just pick him up and just like hold him?
Unless he's stopping you, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick you up by like the scruff of your neck and like hold you up like I'm looking at like a small cat like they do. It's like, that would be not so wise, and then just kind of toss you over by the rest.
When you're holding him up, his tail's going to try to grab the vial.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah. That's pretty good, I think.
All right, make a perception check there.
Sleight of hand is 18.
Wait, that doesn't. Hold on.
18's pretty good.
Ooh, 18.
Oh,
Wait, was it?
that's a tie.
Hold on, I didn't have a modifier.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't
Perception?
have a modifier. Perception. I don't know what
It's wisdom.
then that's a 20.
Yeah, okay. You see Yang's tail just very stealthily sliding up, trying to grab the vial out of your hand, or out of where you've put it.
What do you think you're putting that little thing, do you?
No, I'll get it eventually. And then he's just going to drop down and just march back over to the group.
And then Whispers.
Whispers has started to walk away in anger at Shava, and then stops immediately, turns around, and goes, Frederick. Yeah, and walks right back over to see if Frederick is functional or if he is dead.
It literally is impossible to tell. It could just be that he's unconscious and will return.
Okay.
It seems like the kind of thing. His bones are all intact and connected. When you move them, they are connected.
Okay.
But it's impossible for you
Then
to
I
know.
would pick him up as well and head back to the entrance.
I was like, can we do it as like an arcana or any kind of thing, or medicine or religion or anything to see if he would be functional?
I think it's so far outside of any of your knowledge. Like, I don't think any of you know this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I will be right back. And I'll
be right back.
I will be right back. And I will fly down the hallway and take a closer look at those small holes and see if there's like air coming through there. I'd also like to take a decent look through the fairy's lair and see if she had any treasure laying about.
Yeah,
sure. Okay.
I didn't need it until I just flew back.
So this would be an investigation check.
Ooh, that's a 19 though.
19.
Nice.
Through the water, now that it has dimmed down, you can see something sparkling at the bottom of it.
Could I reach it with my polearm?
Could try. You know that this would be delicate to try and reach. Like, it seems like you might hit the end of your polearm, and that if you messed it up, you would fall in. So it's kind of up to you whether you want to risk that.
I don't, but I will let the group know that there is something in the pond.
Try to put some rope on your polearm and try to stick it.
I go up while they're talking about this, and I cast Mage Hand.
Yeah, nice. I figured Shava was going to do this.
Yeah.
So your hand spends a while just kind of fishing around. You pull up bits of gold. You pick up what look to be kind of rough clothes that have been eaten away and bleached kind of by this water. They kind of have this glow about them. And then you would find a small dagger, smaller than like a child's dagger is what it would almost be. It is intricate and metallic all over. Like the handle is made of metal that flows into the blade.
Metal, man.
It like the whole entire piece. It's not like wooden parts mixed with metal. It is like a solid piece, like it was made as one part.
Okay.
How much gold?
You find roughly 50 pieces if you're willing to take like 20 minutes to fish it all out.
Well,
I think I'd
they're
have to
figuring
cast
out
Mage
how to
Hand
get
a
us
couple
out.
of times.
That's fine, yeah.
Did he notice anything like with like the pull or like a hole, seeing if there's air or anything, another way to get out?
Yeah, so you do feel a breeze coming through the holes. And some of them are large enough to fit, medium-sized creatures.
It would be a struggle, but perhaps the wisest course of action is to drag Frederick through this hole.
Well, I'm not claustrophobic, and Darius is just going to start walking through the biggest one that like Whispers was looking at.
Okay, yeah. It's big enough to fit a medium creature, and then as you look up, it just goes into darkness, but it does go straight up for about 20 feet, and then it looks like it curves off outside, away from the entrance of this little tunnel. Or you could have someone cast light.
Yeah,
and
I'll
then
just cast light on the mace and just kind of hold it up like a torch.
Sure, yeah. That gives you a good view. Yeah. If you all want to climb up eventually, you'll all make it. I'm sure a few people might stumble. And Whispers, are you even willing to go into...
I really don't want to, but I will, because it's either that or be trapped down here.
Yeah.
That if there was another way out, he wouldn't do this.
Okay.
But
you are unable to fly in this tight space. Okay.
He is visibly not okay with what he's doing.
And then you're hoisting Frederick's body along.
It's that moment where, like, you guys really never see him close his eyes, but he's just kind of climbing up the side of this tunnel with his eyes closed. He's very uncomfortable.
Cheers to Squeaky.
Can I actually once again use my awakened mind on Whispers?
Unless he's got a way to stop you from doing it.
I don't think so. So, do I see him struggling right now?
Oh, yeah. He's very clearly uncomfortable.
All right. She's going to start out with like, hey, you got this, buddy. Also, let's talk later.
As you approach the top and you kind of move over, it opens up and you see about 30 skeletons in pieces, all like in a big pile, and then an exit out to somewhere with sunlight further ahead.
Oh, the skeleton area is like it's part of a cave.
Yeah, you're in a different little area now, and it's this chamber with this big pile of bones.
Do they look like they've been here a while? Or
Some of them, and other ones look fresher.
I'm very uncomfortable by this.
Okay.
Do they have green cloaks at all?
None of these bodies have green cloaks. Make a perception check, though.
That's real good. That's 22.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, I was actually just going to say, Yang goes over to one of the holes in the wall and just shouts into the hole. It's like, hey, I know you guys are still there. You guys could have helped, you know.
You don't see any green cloaks, but you do, as you turn, see movement at the mouth of the cave.
Going out?
Yeah, that goes out where there's sun shining kind of through. Looking around this room a little closer, you also see that there's like a rough desk and some chairs and some like planks of wood that seem to have acted as tables where a corpse is flayed open.
Yang doesn't care about that. He's gonna scramble through the mouth and just like chase after them.
Okay.
He's like, guys, they're right here!
As
they're still just...
What is everyone else doing? Once Yang starts running off.
Do not take him into the sunlight. And then I will fly off after Yang, just to make sure he's not alone.
Darius is going to examine the stonework of the cave. Like, does it look like it was formed at all, or was it?
This is a natural cavern.
Natural cavern. Well, he'll go over to the desk and start looking.
Okay. As you go over, the thing that probably attracts most of your attention is the flayed corpse, and you see the skull of a wolf on the body of a zombie creature. Like, it's all limbs have been slightly mangled and transformed into claws, and you see a few roughly made staves with daggers and with wrought iron edges across them laying up against a wall.
Darius, did you find anything?
Yep. Come take a look for yourself. I think this is where good old Andy might have gotten an idea for his undead.
There are papers scattered all over the place. A lot of them seem to have been burned and
even
destroyed. Most of them are entirely unreadable. You see bits of anatomical diagrams. It's about as much as you can make out.
Yeah. It looks like a practice shot to me.
Split the party. Split the party.
I don't control Yang. Yang does enough.
I have no input over what Yang does.
Not my choice. Okay, yeah. So as he's like running and Whispers is following, he's like, "Yes, Whispers. I knew you believed me.
I still do not believe you, but it is foolish to run off alone.
But I saw them. You know that they're there."
I cock an eyebrow up at him.
Both of you make perception checks.
4.
Did you just save a roll?
I figured we'd be rolling one to check these guys, so I did roll it. It's terrible.
Perception. Oh, yeah, that's a 17.
17? You
It's
see...
impossible for Yang to not see them. You see them every single time.
Whispers is distracted by just Yang being Yang as a dart shoots down towards Yang. And does a 16 hit?
Yang, yes.
Did you have bark skin still up, or was that
It only lasted for a
concentration?
minute.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's down then. So the dart sinks into your neck, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 10 plus 1, 11.
11 is not enough to succeed. You feel an instant drowsiness, and you can feel there's only about one action left of things you could do before you go down.
Do I notice that?
Yeah, it's a pretty
It's like instantly like slow down, like I know they're up here.
Whispers looks over and goes, "Oh, he's telling the truth."
You looking up, you do not see whatever just did this, but Yang, you managed to catch those green cloaks. In these final moments before you fall asleep, you see a stone mask underneath these green hooded cloaks.
And yeah, then I just fall backwards onto Whispers behind me.
Grab him and immediately fly back into the cave to the rest of the group. The monkey has again made enemies of people. And I just throw him on the ground in front of my
He's just completely passed out.
Nice.
The green clocks are real.
Apparently.
Oi.
Everyone's so nonchalant about that.
I don't even get to experience everyone realizing that it's real.
Well, did you see them?
I did not.
They'll
Can
probably
we
be
try
after
and
us.
wake him up? I mean, I'll slap him around.
You slap him around, he does not seem to be responding to
Oh
any
boy.
slapping. This is whatever it is a very potent serum or venom. It's definitely herb based. You can tell that off the smell from the dart.
Okay. I don't have any antitoxin or anything, so.
Can I use my necklace?
As an action, you regain one spell slot.
Okay, I'm gonna do that now.
Okay. Shava, your necklace flares up and you feel this sickly energy kind of flow into you. But you regain your spell slot.
I'm probably gonna look like I'm outwardly like,
Where did we leave Voom?
You guys probably either would have left him at the entrance or left him in the town itself. So whichever you prefer.
We're gonna again and say we told him to sit tight and wait for us at Gravestone.
No, he's been with us the whole time. We need him right now.
I suppose.
No, he would not have fit through the tunnels.
No, Darius would never have left him
In
at
like
the
the
entrance of the
hut.
cave.
Yeah.
I'm not in the house.
Sounds
that
good.
we put us
Yeah,
in.
he would have left him with people.
All right. There doesn't seem to be any approaching enemy from the mouth of the cave that you can tell.
Okay.
I've got an idea. Do you have an illusion or some way to like hide an object, or besides Nick's making things invisible?
No.
Okay. Darius is going to start to walk over to the entrance of the cave very cautiously. And he's going to like kind of conceal his hand. He's going to take one of his bombs and he's going to set it, and he's going to put like a couple of grass or leaves over it, and then he's going to go behind the cave, like make sure like it's out of region, and he's going to take aim ready to shoot at it if anything comes towards it.
Gotcha.
Like,
Okay.
laying sort of a trap, but out of the entrance of the cave, so if it does blow up, it doesn't seal us in.
Okay. Sounds good.
No, he's just ready to shoot it.
Yeah.
He's just taking aim back inside the cave.
I could cast the thaumaturgy and make the flames appear brighter to like obscure vision.
Alright.
So-
I'm not going
Does anyone want to call out to them?
I will attempt to get their attention.
Is Yang still
Yang is
down?
passed out.
Alright, I'm gonna go up and I'm just gonna like bah, bah, bah.
Whispers already tried this, but
We're all going to take turns.
Yeah, yeah.
Poor Yang.
So Yang's actually having a nightmare right now where he's like reliving that when the scale broke. Yeah. And so like he's just watching himself in those moments leading up to it and just like yelling at himself to like, why did you do this? Like stop. And he's trying to get him to stop, but he doesn't.
Yeah, Yang looks like he's just rolling
Outwardly
around.
he's just snoring like
Okay, cool.
Appears to be having a peaceful.
So what I want to do is I'll take flight in the cavern, and then I will dash forward to the entrance of the cave, and then zip around and come right back in right away and see if I can either draw their attention or see if I can spot.
Make a perception check.
12?
12 is not good enough.
Gosh.
Yeah.
No. I did not see them.
Just still slapping.
Still slapping.
For everyone who can't see, which is everyone. I just made the slapping motion again that I'm hitting Yang still.
So about 20 minutes pass, 30 minutes pass, unless anyone's doing anything.
No.
I suppose
every once in a while, I just want to crack the jar so the fairy doesn't suffocate.
Okay.
Should we just use them to take a short rest, or do a short rest and just
you could
take your turns watching the entrance?
Yeah, I mean you could theoretically take a short rest.
Enough time for you? Is that enough time for Yang to wake up?
Yang, after about an hour, does start to come to.
Whoa. What happened? The green people! The green people! They're real! They're real! Right, guys? Wait, we're still in this cave. What happened?
We have not left due to your incapacitation.
You guys didn't chase after them?
We are unable to see them. Perhaps they only reveal themselves to you.
All right, well, I guess it's my duty, and he just starts marching out of the cave. He's not running. But he's just,
Are you? Okay. Are you going alone?
Assuming everyone's going to follow him, but he's going to do a perception check to see if they're out there.
You step outside.
Okay. 4 + 5 is not good. So it's the first 9.
Okay. You do not see anything, but as you approach, you see the side of a tree open up, and a small mouth forms with jagged, broken bark teeth.
And he's going to just turn around and start marching back.
And
we don't have those in Calpool.
It starts to try to speak, but then you walk away.
Did all of us see that?
No. Only Yang would have.
Huddled up in a pile staring at
Just
him.
watching what happens.
Heads are coming out
every time it starts to wake up, he shakes to keep it unconscious.
Yeah, you just don't even listen to what the mouth has to say. All right.
Yeah. No, I guess if I understood that it was starting to make noises, I'm like, okay, and then I turn around and I just listen to it.
Swivels.
So
hey, did you see those green people too?
Yes.
Whoa. Okay, where did they go?
Up in the trees. You should follow.
Why?
They need you, Yang.
What? Okay. Wait. Why did they attack me?
The mouth closes back up.
And he's gonna go up to it and start knocking on the tree. He's like, wait, what? They need me. Okay.
No one else sees this.
We're stoked.
I do want to start walking out of the cave.
Okay, you follow behind.
Wrap Frederick up in a... I'll stuck him in my sleeping bag.
Okay.
Darius will dig up his grenade and put it back in his pocket.
All right.
As they're marching out, I'm knocking on the tree, and as I see him coming out, it's like, okay, so the green people are still up in the trees because this tree told me they are, and
Yang, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my gosh.
That is 14. Yeah, 14.
14? It's barely not good enough, as you feel this rope that was invisible suddenly is there, and you wink. You are brought up into the trees.
I'm so sorry.
I think that's gonna have to be initiative. And I think that's actually probably a good place to end this episode.
Oh dear.
Oh gosh.
Catch us next time for Yang is stuck in a tree.
Yang's been blow darted and he's been yanked. Yeah. I love it. See you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Well, that'll do it for us this week. Gotta love a skeleton fairy with energy swords and laser beam eyes and having its head ripped off. If you'd like to support our weirdness right now, the best way to do that is by spreading the word and sharing us with your friends and loved ones. We're pretty small right now, and I'd love to see us grow further. Also, we're considering opening a Patreon in the coming months, but we're still figuring that out right now. because when we want to offer it, we want it to be worthwhile for all of you. So I just wanted to mention that here, and if you had any ideas for what you'd like to see us do with that, feel free to reach out to us. You can follow us on Twitter at DiveCloudCast. That's where we spend most of our time interacting with all of you, and don't hesitate to reach out about anything, whether it's feedback or you just want to talk to us. So thanks so much, everyone. We will see you next week for episode 7. Bye-bye.
Inspiration ignites an invisible channel that opens between machine and soul.